Welcome everyone to the Voice of Terminus show Tavern Talk. It's that time of the month again where we talk about all the latest news regarding VR and Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. July has been fairly quiet. Obviously it's a season where the developers are all out on these game conventions and whatnot, and VR themselves have also been present at the SDCC. And we'll get into all that good stuff. It's going to be quite a short show today because there isn't all that much going on this month. It's summertime as well, so that also comes into effect. But we're going to talk about all the latest VR and Pantheon news. Then we're going to quickly fly over the newsletter. Community news. We'll show you all the latest screenshots. And then we'll talk about all the other news, which is obviously what's coming up with the what's coming up on our show. And some of the little tidbits here and there. So you want to go kick it off with the VR news, Lex?
Yeah, I guess you mean on the tweets.
Yep.
So, like I said, like Alice said, there's not a whole lot of stuff going on today, but we are going to go over a couple of tweets here. So, let's see. On July 6th, we have one that's here's some screenshots that we thought you might enjoy. Good stuff. We also have on July 10th, how do you handle griefing players in PvE MMORPGs without breaking the rules yourself? Which is a very interesting question, one that we might have to put on the board to talk about on one of our Thursday regular shows.
Yep.
Let's see, next we have on July 12th is Get It While It's Hot, July newsletter fresh off the press, which of course you can go read at pantheonmmo.com. Which is always full of good stuff, even a little bit of humor. Go check it out. Next one we have on July 13th. Here are some more random screenshots for your viewing pleasure. Enjoy. And I gotta say, I love that Throne Fast Guard with the lighting.
It looks brilliant, doesn't it? The shadow effect is actually working really well for them.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are still kind of on the fence with like the graphics and the animations with Pantheon, but I gotta tell you, just the lighting kind of makes that whole argument not so important anymore.
Yeah.
You know? Because you get so sucked into the environment, you don't care that there's not like little messages chiseled in armor and stuff like that. You just don't care. I mean, you're just awestruck. July 14th, we have Force Up in our caption contest. Support reviving fallen players and not just corpses. Don't release. Which I'm ashamed to say I have not been following the caption contest. But you should probably check it out. Heck, hit me up on Discord and tell me what I'm missing out on. Next we have on July 17th. If there was something preventing you from progressing your character, would you ask for help or go and do something else? Which, personally, is all dependent upon my mood. How about you?
Yeah, I'm kind of, it all depends. Mostly, I'm always one to ask for help. Me playing a healer, I know it's always going to be a bit more challenging for me, so I'll always ask for help if need be. But I'm kind of the person like, I'll try until I get really, really frustrated, and then I'll ask for help.
Yeah, see, for me, it really is just depending on my mood. If I'm in a friendly, kind of happy mood, I got no problem asking for help. But if I'm feeling just kind of down in the dumps, I'll just go do something else.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure there are a lot of people that are kind of the same way. The next one was on July 18th, which is coming from Brad McQuaid, Mr. Airdoon himself. Pics of the bus station where Pantheon is being promoted during SDCC, which is the San Diego Comic-Con, and where you can scan the code to watch the video. And to be honest, the posters look pretty badass.
They do.
The next one is check out our new promo video. Bring Friends captures the philosophy behind Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, which is a great video.
And we're going to show it to you as soon as we get through these tweets.
Yeah. We don't really see anything new if you've been watching any of the live streams, but it's still nice to see it. I mean, it's kind of like chomping out a lot of the good parts and throwing it into one little video for their trailer. But I mean, they're making trailers now, guys. Next step, commercials. Probably not, just saying. Nice to think, though. Next one we got up on July 20th is check out this week's green theme for your weekly Pantheon viewing pleasure. Which more fantastic landscape screenshots. Oh my god. Environmental artist gold. Next one we got up here July 21st. Ready for another caption? Healing spells now add a correct amount of hate. Again, I haven't been following them. But I can definitely tell you from what little experience I have as a healer that healing hate, bad stuff. Oh my god, it just makes me cringe. Okay, so next up on July 22nd from Corey Lefevre?
Yep.
Okay, well, my pronunciation is very, very bad.
We'll go with that.
So, we'll go with that. Corey, if I mispronounce it, I'm sorry. You can throw tomatoes at me if you see me in the street. Hey, Pantheon MMO, look, I spotted an elf in the wilds of downtown San Diego. And he's pointing out the elf poster from one of the bus stops.
And there's a lot.
I gotta tell you, there is a lot of them. If I was walking around in my hometown and I saw that, I'd probably have a nerdgasm.
Yep, and we're going to show you the latest tweet that went out before we just did the show. I didn't have time to bring that in. Nighttime shots of bus station capture. Those images look absolutely outstanding during the night as well. So we'll get those in there as soon as we're done through this. Yeah,
well, our final tweet was on the 24th. It said, let's kick Monday off with a deep question. What does gaming mean to you, and how much impact has it had on your life? Now, if those of you that know me, I don't post on the Pantheon MMO forums, like, at all. I did on this one. I did. There's a lot of really interesting, really thought-provoking posts in there, and anybody can go ahead and read the forums, at least the non-restricted areas. You have to be a pledge to post. But go check it out. Some people have some very interesting stories.
Yep. Alright, so what we'll do is we're going to go and kick off now and show you guys the SDCC trailer. So let me go and mute the music. And we're going to be quiet now while this trailer runs off for you guys.
Of adventure and magic, where peril lurks in every corner and the elements themselves present a danger. Rise up and take arms. But bring friends.
So there's that video, and we're going to quickly bring up the latest screenshots from Brad with the images caught at night, because they look pretty badass. So here's the tweet. Let me go and get rid of that text there. I'll put these up on a bit bigger. There's the Maestro, and that looks pretty badass during the night. There's Brad and Chris, and it looks like they maybe met a fan or something. I don't know who that guy is there, but during the night they look even better. So those are the screenshots that they basically put out from a nighttime view. It's evening time, and they look pretty cool. They look really cool. So
I love that. I love that tagline at the top: "Challenge Reborn."
Yeah, definitely. So they did a fantastic job with those advertisement posters. The lighting, everything works well, and they look really, really good. So those are definitely really, really cool. So let's go and bring up the newsletter. That's what we're about to talk about as well, is the newsletter. So as you know, every month they put out a newsletter, and this one was focused on a lot of interviewing. They had a segment from Brad talking about the importance of a community-focused gaming and how important it is for him to have VR and the community work hand in hand, side by side, throughout the whole process. It was definitely an interesting read for anybody that missed it. I'll quickly bang in a link into chat real quick. Sorry about this, guys. There we go. Oops. And he was talking about, you know, his early days of MUDs and everything, and the ability to communicate, how community self-police and everything. There's definitely a very interesting read to go through. If you haven't read it, give it a read. And then they have Zippy Z, who's in charge, as you know, of the AI placement, adding NPCs and all their AI linking, pathing, etc., all into it. And it's definitely an interesting approach what they want to try and achieve here with their AI. So there was an example of basically two guards walking on a path towards each other. They'll stop and meet up and talk, and but these routes that they take are completely random as well. They're randomized. And if, for instance, now a group of people go and kill, let's say, said guard A, what would happen is that the guard would carry on walking. He wouldn't, stop and at that position again, as we know normal pathing works, and try and talk to this NPC. He would carry on walking, minding his own business. So it's very intuitive, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how in depth they're going to go with their pathing and everything, and how the AI is going to interact with effects made by the players as we move along throughout the world. So it's definitely a very interesting read. So give that a read. And Community Spotlight, some dude called Yanila was on this, and it was definitely a tease, a very funny. I mean, they picked out really good questions for me to answer, and I tried to, on the last question, get a bit of both in, because the questions are designed for you not to, you have to make a hard choice on what you want to do. What is it that you want to do most? So I tried to basically get the best of both worlds. I think I nailed it pretty well. So give the newsletter definitely a read, and Brad even added in later on down the road. He added in a developer diary, which I'll bring up as well for you guys. There's a new developer diary from Brad. What went wrong? World of Warcraft killers, or a general lack of guts? And this is definitely a long read, but Brad goes into detail about this. And it's a brilliant read, so I'll link you guys that as well, so you can catch all of that. And let's cue the music again. So that's the newsletter this month. So there's a lot of general information going out there a lot of interviewing this time around. It's definitely very informative, very interesting insights into the AI with this dev diary from Brad as well, adding to that, giving it some in-depth information. So that's the newsletter, and then we have the community spotlight, the community news, and we have Pantheon Times have put out another podcast. Podcast episode 9 is now available for you guys to download, listen to, and whatnot. So I'll punch that into chat for you as well, to give it a listen to later. And then we have something special for you. As some of you might know, the VIP community are currently running a competition for people to win a VIP pledge within the community from Pantheon. And one of the community members was kind of gutsy when it came to picking their stage 2 challenge. They gave us 2 options, which was basically a cheesy video and trying to think of the second one, I can't remember. But the vote went obviously towards this cheesy video, and we have to share it because this takes guts to do, and it's very well done. So we're going to give you the chance to actually go and see this video for yourselves and applaud Addy for doing this. So let's go and kick this video off, because I thought it takes a lot of guts to do this, and it was brilliant. I loved it. I got a kick out of it. So here we go.
We're dusting off the nagas for Brad McQuaid's new saga. We have a few hot topics, a Pantheon family. We're plotting and we're planning. The kids are in great training. A 5-year-old's a halfling, a Pantheon family. Pull!
Nuke.
Heal. We have a circle healer, a druid and a ranger, a monk and elf junior, a Pantheon family.
I mean, that was just, you know, ballsy, outstanding. Even the kids, you know, they got the kids involved, but the kids actually played a part, and we all know how hard that is to get the kids animated. So hey, help us make a fool of ourselves.
Yeah, and I mean, as much as we'd like to feature everybody that's putting forth entries for this contest, there's something to be said about actually putting yourself on a camera in a video and then submitting that. That takes a lot of nerve, you know, versus like writing a story or just making up some images. So anyone out there that's watching that is wondering why we haven't showcased the rest of them, there's nothing against them. I mean, a lot of these entries have been freaking amazing, and this is just something that they put themselves out there so much that we felt like we would do a disservice to the community not to share it, because I mean, let's face it, it was really fun. It was very well done, and yeah, I mean, I think I've watched it 4 or 5 times already because it's just awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's really cool. So then we're going to share the latest screenshots. Like I said, this is going to be a very short show today, so we're almost coming towards the end. There's not a lot out there, but let's go and show you all the latest screenshots. There were 12 altogether this month. I'll bring these up on the screen while we watch through them. And I will be trying to, on a side note, I'm going to try and recreate some of these screenshots that they did, some of the buildings with my voxel studio that I'll be streaming off every now and then. And we're going to try and create some of these, or recreate some of these assets that they did with these screenshots. So if you want me to try and rebuild something in particular, let me know, and I'll give it a shot. This is actually the screenshot, the one with the billboard and everything. This is the one that I'll be starting off with, trying to rebuild that little framework there with the billboard and everything. That's the first thing I'll be trying out to build.
Better you than me. I have a hard time with stick people. God, I love that picture of the thrown fast character.
Yeah. I like the fact that, you know, in some of these screenshots they've got like buildings being built. And you know, I hope that that's something that they actually maybe try and do over time. You know, have like smaller outposts, kind of like advance over time, you know, through little updates. You know, once we've achieved, maybe the community's achieved a certain amount of reputation or gathered enough commodities for those little cities to advance or build up those buildings, we can see them over time be more complete. I think that would be pretty cool to see as well. Us having an impact on cities or you know, the outskirts of the cities where these little towns, little villages advance over time. I think that'd be pretty cool to see that happen.
Oh yeah, like when it comes to the environment, I just want some change. You know, I've played so many MMOs where you just feel like you're walking around in a cardboard set. Nothing ever changes. And even if it's like a small hut that looks like it's just, you know, a regular old hut with like a thatch roof, then you run by it one day and it's burnt to the ground. You're like, wait a minute, what? All of a sudden, you get this like smack to your immersion going, something's not right. You know, all of a sudden now you've been past this area maybe a dozen times and you want to stop and look around because it's like, if this changed, what else changed?
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, it is certainly a nice idea. And fingers crossed that they can implement something like that, but it's not going to be the easiest.
Definitely. So, in other news, for those that might have missed it, we finally have podcasts on our website, and you can reach those on pantheon-vot.com media, and then you go to podcasts, and you can catch all the latest podcasts on the Thursday shows. We don't have Tavern Talk on there. It kind of makes little sense to do that because we're showing off a lot of images and stuff like this. So you can catch all the Thursday regular shows where we do a lot of speculating and everything like that, which are available for you to listen to on the website or even download for later use and whatnot. And this Thursday marks the final Thursday of July, and that means that I am currently behind schedule with bringing out the August and September calendar, but we're working on it. I will be getting to that this week to have it for you by the latest Friday, the upcoming calendar for August and September on what we plan to do. And this Thursday will be another crafting discussion. And what we're going to talk about, we do not know yet. We still have to go and figure that one out, but we're going to be talking about crafting. We're going to have a look at the previous newsletter, because I think they talked a bit about crafting in that one. We'll have a look at that to see if there's anything in there that we can kind of pick up on. And if you guys got any ideas what you think we could talk about, crafting-wise, you know, hit us up.
Yeah, and don't forget, we do have that form that's available on our Discord, I believe. If you want to submit subjects for like future shows, this isn't limited to new ideas. If you would like us to go back on an old show to see how things have changed for, you know, versus the information we have now, I mean, feel free to submit that. That's perfectly fine. What the community wants to see is what we want to provide. And without a rush of information, we're kind of starving for content. So please, by all means.
Yeah,
Help!
definitely. Yes. So that wraps it up today. As you can see, like I said, it's going to be a shorter show. We'll see you all on Thursday for the crafting discussion. What we talk about, we do not know. But Lex has to quickly take care of his phone call. So with that, guys, like I said, it's currently quiet at the moment. They're very busy at the SDCC, and obviously it's summertime, so a lot of summer holidays are coming up, and we will see what August brings us surrounding Pantheon and VR, and we'll see you on Thursday. Have a great night, everybody, and you know, stick around, keep an eye out for the channel, because I will be streaming out a lot of Voxel Studio in the upcoming weeks, trying to recreate some of the assets that VR put forth, if you're interested in seeing me do that as well. And yeah, have a great night, and I will say good night as well from Lexa. And we will see you all on Thursday. Have a good one.